Hello, hello, hello there, everyone. How are you doing today? So glad to be here with you as we continue with Coffee Time Career Chat. I love it. This is our second one of the week, of course. So if this is your first time, know that you can catch Coffee Time Career Chat here on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. On Mondays, I go live. And as you can see on Wednesdays, it is a pre recorded session. However, I do not slack with the goodies. I'm bringing it to you, both live and pre recorded, and loving every minute of it. If this is your first time, once again, my name is Patricia Hayes. I'm an executive advisor, a career empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. And here's what that means it means that I help professionals, entrepreneurs, and executives, especially women, who are looking to uplevel their careers to make sure that they have strengthened their executive presence, and especially when they are wanting to make sure that they are able to build out a professional network that is sustainable for the long term in their careers, and they want to do it purposefully and in alignment with their core values. So that said, we are working on the topic and theme of supporting your leadership growth. This kind of seems to always circle back around and new things come up. So always love getting into these leadership conversations. And this time today, we're talking about specifically keeping your learning upgraded on your leadership agenda. And it seems like a really obvious, like, Patricia, why are you talking about this? Like, everybody knows that. Well, people may know it, but they don't act on it. And those are two totally different things, right? Because the bottom line is leaders learn, period, right? If you want to truly be a leader in your field, in your area, in your industry, then it is extremely important for you to stay on the hopefully cutting edge of learning opportunities so that you can grow overall. Now, why is this important? Three main points we're going to lay out here. Number one, the most obvious. When you continue to learn, it sharpens your mental axe. That's the bottom line. And this is the thing that people focus on the most. That, well, I'm going to go learn some more. I have that knowledge, I have that information. Now, what they don't do is use that to leverage for the next thing sometimes. So that's a whole different thing that we're not going to get into the details of, but this is just one of those things is, yes, it does make sure that you are sharpening your mental axe. We all get lax, we get behind, things in our industry get upgraded. And a lot of times people will focus on that, right? Especially when there's a very clear distinction in like some major shift in the industry. So yes, everybody's going out there to get that next level of education when that happens. But we're not talking about just that. That's the bare minimum. We're talking about pursuing learning opportunities when there's no pressure to do it. That is the distinction when leaders take action. Leaders taking action to learn ahead of the necessity. That's some really good stuff, y'all. Okay, think about that. When you are taking the initiative to learn more, to upgrade your knowledge in a way that will supplement and impact your work and how you lead before anyone asks you to do it. That is what's really important here. So when you're looking to sharpen that mental axe, don't just go look for the most obvious thing. Again, if it's that's the thing that everyone needs to do, sure, you got to do it probably, right? But what's the next level? That's what I want you to think about. What's the next level of learning? Or if you're peeling back the onion, if you're digging deeper, go up, go down, whichever way you want. But the point is, take it to another level and figure out what it is you can add to your repertoire of knowledge that will build on your expertise, that will build and help you along the way. What are you trying to help? Well, that gets to point number two, which is when you keep learning on your leadership agenda, you will upgrade your value. And this is something that sometimes, again, people play around the edges with of, well, if I learn this, then this will mean that I can be considered for that promotion, right? But again, when you're talking about doing this at a next level, in a next level way, we're not talking about just doing the bare minimum so that you can be of more value within your own company to get the next promotion. We're talking about you being able to be of more value in your industry, in your profession, right? Don't look at it just as what can I do so that I can get the next job. No, 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 no. Broaden your perspective. There's so much more to this. The potential and the possibilities are so much greater. When you learn more, when you put yourself in that position, here is how you can be of more value. You can be of more value inside and outside your organization in a number of ways. Number one, if you're increasing your level of knowledge in your field and becoming a considered more of an expert, guess what experts do? Experts speak more. Guess experts get asked to participate on panels more. Experts get asked to participate in podcasts. Experts get asked to share their knowledge. And the more you are out there sharing your knowledge, sharing your expertise, up leveling it, that is increasing your value, not just within your current position, but also in your profession, in your industry, in ways that you can't even calculate yet. Okay. So, this is why I don't want you to take such a narrow view of this. Don't look at it just about the next job. I want you to be more expansive and think about, and this is why you also want to take the opportunity to reflect on what type of knowledge, what type of additional learning opportunities you need to explore. Because when you explore something that's really going to help you, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, but maybe not so much right now. That's a planning, that's some strategic thought, that's some leadership thought that's going into that. Okay. I know that when I was working in certain offices, it was really funny because I would, get caught looking for things, and they were like, are you trying to get out of here?" I'm like, "No, I just like to keep my options open. I like to be informed." But the other thing is, this is something that people will often do. If if the job won't pay for the training, then they won't go. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Always, always, always be willing to invest in your own growth. If the job won't pay for it, if the office won't pay for it, guess what you do? You save your pennies and you pay for it yourself. You take off the time and you go pay for it and you engage yourself. I used to do this all the time before I worked for myself. If the office would not pay for the opportunity that I wanted to, and I couldn't tie it back to specifically something that would benefit them, then I'd be fine. I'm going to take off some time. I'm going to take a little time. Thank you. And that's how that would go down. Okay. You have to be willing to put that investment in yourself. It is a huge mistake to wait for your company, your business, your organization to define what it is you need to learn in order to be a leader. Big mistake. And that is not a mistake I want to see you all make. All right? Yes, Do they direct say, hey, this is a part of what you need to learn in order to meet the responsibilities of this job? Cool, fine, do it. But go over and above that. Think about how you can bring value in a new way, in a deeper way, and in a much more extended way. Okay. The third point is that that when you keep your learning on your leadership agenda, that it builds and extends your influence. Now, this is really important, particularly if you are truly trying to put yourself in a position of leadership. Now, notice I said, y'all know how I feel about that. Leadership is not about a title, right? There are really good leaders who do not have titles, who do not have, quote, power and authority. However, sometimes they track, right? So if you want to be a leader who has significant influence that people trust and will come to you to share, to seek advice, that you're getting sought out to engage with others, then you want to be very aware of what your level of influence. And when you seek out those learning opportunities that will support you in that, guess what happens? When you build out and extend your influence, you're also building out the trust that people have in you. When you show yourself to be someone who's willing to learn, who's willing to get uncomfortable and say, hey, I really don't know about a lot about this, or there's something I realize I need to gain some more experience or expertise in. So this is what I'm going to do. People value that. If you have people watching you, a team, your colleagues, whatever it may be, they see that, and that level of influence can help direct them to pursue the next level as well for themselves. All right. So you're building that influence, you're building out that trust, and you're modeling very good behavior when it comes to what it looks like to improve yourself for your workplace, for your organization, for your personal brand. This does not just apply if you work for some other organization. It applies if you work for yourself. If you think that you are excluded from this just because you own your own company, you are sorely mistaken. If anything, CEOs, entrepreneurs, like they have to do this, like kind of double down because there is so much more to learn. There's things to be exposed to, not just from the topic and that you are an expert in, but from a management perspective. Maybe there's some things you need to learn about hiring and human resources. There are more things you need to learn about communicating with a team. It just opens up the floodgates. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, a CEO, a business exec, a professional. A lot of folks who are professionals, myself as an attorney, like there's certain levels of education that are mandated, right? We have to take 15 hours of continuing legal education. But guess what? No one's mandating what that looks like for me, unless I work for an organization that says, yeah, we prefer you take stuff that relates to how you work with us. But again, then and now, I always sought out those things that I found to be supportive of me where I am today, as well as where I want to be in the future. Okay. So there's so many things that you can do, so much opportunity. And I hope that these things will give you some guidance in helping you to think about how you pursue and how you build out your learning opportunities as a leader moving forward, especially as we approach the end of the year and the beginning of a new one. That's kind of that natural break when people kind of start thinking about different things. And I encourage you to do that. If you need some help with that, don't hesitate to DM me or get on my calendar. Just go to the link in the bio and I'll be happy to, do a brief consultation with you about what that can look like and how we can build that out for you so that you can be prepared for where you want to be in the coming year. Okay? Thanks so much for joining. This has been fantastic, and I look forward to following up with you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.